So we're doing the Squawking 7 top favorite fear moments. Your favorite moment, what part do you like to watch over and over again? What made you stand up and cheer on Fear the Walking Dead? You know what? You could be here and be part of this recording right now and be putting your answers in the comments with us that we could read out right now if you were here. And it's so easy to do. Dave, how do they do that?
You do that by heading over to either ko-fi.com/squawkingdead or patreon.com/squawkingdead. You don't have to buy us a coffee or join a membership tier. Just follow for free because that's where we post our recording schedules. We don't post them on social media.
You're number 3.
Going off of that, and this is probably nothing to do with the show itself, more than how much I enjoyed discussing everything surrounding Ner Tamid. The 39 Nistarim, that whole concept of the 39 people in the world who keep it running. And you'll never know who they are. And it's just like the idea that these are kind of like, these people are them, in a sense, our protagonists. All the cultural references surrounding that. And I really just loved how much people were enjoying all that stuff that they may or may not have known about, that I did even more research on than I already knew. It was kind of nice. For those who don't remember, that's the episode you meet Rabbi Jacob Kessner. And it's the same episode you find out Sarah Rabinowitz's last name. And I don't know if the last name, but we do find out that she's Jewish too. And so that was kind of a cool little reveal too.
So I had recently started listening to Squawking Dead at that time.
What?
And
thank you.
I hadn't even really started interacting with y'all yet. I was just listening. One of the things I loved was you explaining all of the Jewish customs and stuff that they talked about. I found that super educational, and everybody, I'm an atheist. I don't believe in any gods or anything, but I do enjoy the study and learning how people think, what they think, the study of religions.
I love our Judaism lessons with David.
Yeah, I do.
I really do.
I mean, it was super interesting to me, and you explained it in a way that regular people could understand it.
You dumbed it down for us, David. Thank you.
I'm a technician by trade. I have to dumb down a lot of things. So I'm the mansplainer, the robot mansplainer.
He says all the traditional things, and then he's like, "Now here's what it really means, guys."
This was before AI chatbot, so sorry.
Right. We had to feed the chat GPT more info so it could have actual conversations. But no, I think what I liked the most about that was I was only going to get into it a little bit, and people were like, "Oh wow!" And then not just Rachel, right? It was just people in the audience were like this, and I was like reacting to it, and I was like, "Oh, I'll keep going then." And then there's this and this tradition. This ties into that, and it was a lot of fun. So I liked that moment. Oh, the thing on top of that was when we were discussing the trailer and who this person might be. And like I yelled out, I think that's a yarmulke. I think we're going to meet our first openly Jewish character. And then we find out there's another one.
I remember that trailer breakdown. I remember you saying
as much as I don't care about that stuff, it was kind of interesting. It was like, okay, we're going here.
No, it's exciting when you see someone more
nice
relatable
to have representation,
right?
Like
representation.
Yeah. Right. Exactly.
And I went into that as well. I was kind of like, it was a good feeling. It's like, I didn't need it, but I'm glad I got it. That's how I put it then.
It's like how I feel when I see a redhead on screen.
Hey, Bridget, she's right there. It's Jenny.
And a real redhead. That's how I feel when I see real redheads.
Yeah, there are not many.
Yeah.
I love that the show incorporates things that we can explore. It's not just things about religion, but they put books in the background that you can look up. They put all these little Easter eggs here and there and references to real things. I love that they go through the trouble to include those kinds of things in the show for us, the diehard fans, to discover.
Maps.
Was that our 3?
Maps.
My number 3 is arguably an episode, but we'll say when Alicia saves the Cackleberry kids. I just love all of that. I love everything that has to do with it. I mean, I don't love that she tried to do it all herself, right? Like I was kind of like, eh. But then when she got there, when she was actually at the place, at the treehouse, killing all the walkers, they're busting through the gate, and she's taking them all on, and then she's
the blood in the mouth thing.
You gotta go to. I mean, there's.
I know, I don't like it.
That happened. Yeah. That's a thing that happened, but.
And then Thomas told us nothing to worry about.
Yeah, right.
In the chat. I'm a radiologist by trade.
It's fine. You can swallow a gallon of blood. You're good. No.
A gallon of irradiated blood. Nothing's gonna happen.
You're good.
So that's cancer right there.
That moment where Annie's like, no, you need to let us help ourselves as well. And so Annie kind of takes charge and gets all the kids down the rope. And it was just a great scene. I just really loved how she saved all the kids. And now they're missing again. Where the are the Cackleberry kids?
Where Heath is.
They're in the
Sad.
caverns, safe and sound.
They're all in purgatory with Sawyer and Kate and Jack and the others.
Lost
Ranger
logo.
Samuels.
Mr. Echo.
Oh, Ranger Samuels.
My number 3 is Strand and the Cosmonaut. Children of Wrath, episode 8 of season 3. I just love that interaction. I don't know, it sparked something in me that, like, when we watched the first episode of Fear the Walking Dead, but also the first episode of The Walking Dead, where it's got this horror element to it, and it just kind of makes you really think, like, what if this happened? Like, what would you do? That was one of those moments. He's in space. He's dead. How is he going to come back? He's not going to be able to. Even if you were to like crash land, he's going to end up crash landing. So he's dead. There's no food. He's running out of food. It's so slim a chance of survival. It reminds me a lot of Last Man on Earth. I don't know if you guys have watched that show, but I truly enjoy that
with
show.
Will Forte?
Yes, with Will Forte. It's a great show. It's dystopian, which is obviously why I love it, because that's like my jam.
Sudeikis is his brother, etc.
Yes,
Yeah.
Jason Sudeikis is Will Forte's brother, and he is an astronaut. And you find out further. Kristen Shaw,
Yes.
January Jones.
Dang.
Yeah, there's great people. It's an
Nice
amazing
cast.
show. A very funny take on like dystopian future.
It was a good break from The Walking Dead.
Yes, yeah,
universe.
it was nice. But it's in the same vein. It's very much like the type of storyline that I really enjoy.
It's one of those shows that I really loved the first couple of seasons, but then it got so twisted and weird, like all the intertwining stuff. It was like, whoa, what? But the first 2 seasons were great,
Yeah,
man.
it
They
does
were
get really
great.
weird. But Jason Sudeikis is Will Forte's brother, and he's an astronaut, and he's on a space station when like the end of the world happens. And he does find a way to get back. I don't know. This like is in the same vein for me, that scene. I don't know when they would have come out. Like I think Last Man on Earth, that scene probably came out after that scene on Fear the Walking Dead.
Much, yeah.
But I like intertwine them in my brain now when I think about it. I really enjoyed the interaction, the camaraderie that they found with each other. But again, the reason I included Space Oddity in the background of that video is because I love that song. That's one of my favorite songs. I love Space Oddity. It's a great David Bowie song. But it also reminds me of that scene, because he's alone up there. The expanse of space is so startling already, but then to be there alone,
Right.
that's horrific.
It's like Gravity.
I gotta plug my ears for this.
Oh my
The movie
freaking! I'm
Gravity.
freaking Rachel out, I guess.
Why?
I like the idea that it might be connected to the shuttle that fell in
season
Walking
9,
Dead.
right?
Yeah.
That's
That's
the
exactly
beginning of
what I was
season
thinking.
10. Yeah.
Did anybody say that at the time?
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
a lot of
yeah,
people
yeah.
did. That's
Okay,
how I
okay.
heard it.
Okay.
Is I had no idea because I didn't watch Fear episodes when he were on the boat. So that was how I knew about it.
That's also Strand's farewell to Abigail, which is
With the sunglasses and the fires reflecting off his shades.
Yeah.
It's a cool scene.
good.
Yeah.
So something you all don't know about me, apparently, I have a crazy, irrational fear of space.
It's
And
terrifying,
water.
so I don't blame you.
And something else. Flying.
Don't ever
sort of,
watch
not anymore,
Gravity
Mm.
or Interstellar.
Star Wars is fine because it's like
Yeah.
super fake. But
It's, like,
like
out
anything
there.
too realistic or like if I think about it too
So,
hard,
like Star Trek.
I actually start panicking
So stupid.
because Star Trek's super realistic.
Well, I mean, a little bit more grounded than space fantasy wizards.
Rachel, it's how I feel when we used to go to the Museum of Natural Science in the city that I live in when I was a kid, and there's a whale skeleton there.
Yeah.
And when I see it, still to this day, when I see it, I get really panicky. It's so unnerving to me to know that there are such big things in the world.
So it's a real
disorder?
thing. And Silas actually told me
Fear.
it's called megalophobia. It's scared of
Big open spaces.
huge things. I mean, it can be like a thing or space. You're not going to catch me standing next to the Grand Canyon either because I can't handle that. No.
You know what it is? I had that
The ocean,
fear too.
forget about it.
I think it's sort of the same thing as like my fear of heights, where the enormity of the ground below is just too much. But when I went there, it is too much. And so you're like, your brain can't hold on to that.
That's like driving up here.
It's
amazing
amazing.
On the parkway when you're out and you can look out on these vistas and you can just see all the way off the side of the mountain. But Rachel, I know like you can go to the beach because we went to the beach. You didn't go like to the water or anything, but you were okay at the beach.
But like in open water, forget, like you're not going to get me on a cruise. I need to be near land.
You know that you're not stuck on this boat that could go down at any moment.
Yes.
I wanted to add one more thing to what you were saying. It's like the idea that, because it does tie into Last Man on Earth, which was, it's like you're the safest place you could ever be in like a zombie apocalypse, right? And yet you're disconnected from people.
Yeah.
You could talk to them maybe on a radio if your power holds out, but it makes you say like, oh, I'd rather risk the zombie apocalypse for a chance at being with people. That's the thing. Which is telling for Strand, by the way, as a person who didn't want to so much connect with people.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to connect with people, but Strand thrives on being around people.
Doesn't necessarily mean he wants
to connect with any of them. He needs an audience. My number 3 is Sarah jumping out of the fridge and telling Raleigh off and leave what you know.
No. Oh.
Some fellas will do anything to avoid asking for directions. Lucky for you, we know the way. I've done a lot of bad that I gotta live with. But the one thing I can't abide with is that I killed polar bear for nothing. You I can live with. Let's go.
The line is everything.
This is the episode where Logan gets killed. They take over the oil fields, and John and June are up on the ridge. They snipe the walker that's pushing the donkey wheel that runs the oil. This is where we first meet Jenny. 5:13. Leave what you don't. And it's semi towards the beginning of the episode because she shows up later at the oil fields. It's really overall a Sarah episode. This is the episode where they rescue Janice at the truck stop, and it changes Logan's mind about helping people, and just as he changes his mind about helping people, Jenny's people shoot him in the head.
Jenny pulls a Martha. You were helping people. Don't do it.
Raleigh stops at a roadblock there in his truck, and there's like a roadblock of like refrigerators in the road, and he walks up to him, and Sarah kicks it open and stands up with the gun in her face, and like you said, Rachel, she says some men just won't refuse to ask for directions or something like that. But then when he's like, I'm not telling you anything, and she's like, she shoots the gun, she's like, I've done a lot of bad stuff in my time.
She makes a reference to killing Clayton.
She's such not a whimsical character, but we look to her for humor. For her to have such a visceral, explosive outburst like this in such a serious way, man, it was just shocking. And kudos to Mo, because like it literally gave me goosebumps when I saw it. We were talking about this earlier. I had just started communicating with Squawking Dead. I messaged Dave and I was like, this is not spoilery, but you have got to watch this clip. And I sent him the clip of Sarah. It was just like, whoa, a whole new dimension to the character of Sarah. Yeah.
She had a similar moment in season 4 at the top of the hospital roof with
Jimbo
Brower.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, but that was more...
But you got to see that for the first time.
She was more herself, though. She was still her laconic, smart-ass self. That wasn't emotional, just gut punch coming out. She was still kind of flippant and, still Sarah. But this was different. This was a Sarah we've never really seen before. From the bottom of her soul coming out, it was great.
For hijacking Clayton's thing, being responsible for his death.
Right.
Did any of these picks resonate with you? Have you made a list of your own top 7 favorite moments on Fear the Walking Dead? What would you have placed in the spot and why? Tell us in the comments. Or you can go the extra mile and share them in a podcast rating at ratethispodcast.com/squawkingdead. And don't miss out on future opportunities to share your thoughts. Follow us on either Ko-fi or Patreon.